Hello everybody and welcome to my new video about strange offers on the internet. Today I'll show you some unbelievable offers which I have found on eBay. The first one is this the most valuable Elvis Presley first day cover in the world, offered for astonishing 1 million American dollars. Well, to be honest, if you are a fan of Elvis Presley and you like him, why not? You can spend even 20 million American dollars if you want. But from the philatalistic point of view, this cover has a very low price. That's a modern stamp. I think it was issued in the 90s. Well, yeah, there is 1991, 99 cancel. There are some autographs. I'm not able to say whether they are real or not, and or genuine. But as a philatelist, well, I would offer just maximum a few dollars. But as I said, if you like it, you can spend even more on it. The next one is this beautiful stamp from, as far as I know, it's from 1970, 75 or 76. It is well-known error and it's quite rare. The catalog value is somewhere around 20,000 American dollars. But to be honest, I'm not really sure why it's been offered here for 900,000 American dollars. Well, there are not many known. It's also written, I think, here somewhere in the description, or maybe not. I don't know. There are just a few dozens known to exist of this stamp, which is, yes, it is rarer than the famous inverted Jenny. But, well, asking 900,000 is quite a lot, I think. I'm not sure whether somebody is going to pay this price. It's nice rarity, without any doubt. This is also an interesting offer on eBay. Over 600,000 American dollars asking price. Well, somehow I do not understand why. Because it is kind of error. It's with this plate number 7942, as you can see here. But the catalog value, Scott catalog value of this item is well, somewhere around 70 American dollars, 70. Why is the seller asking here more than 600,000 is a question. Never mind. Well, let's skip this one, this Chinese stamp, because it's, well, someone was a bit bored and filled these ornaments by pen or pencil or whatever, and thinks that art ink, yeah, that it's valuable stamp. It's actually damaged, quite ordinary stamp. Even if it wasn't damaged by this art in speeches, it would have value just maybe $1 or whatever. But asking half a million, well, maybe it's from the famous artist, I don't know. This is one of the typical offers on the internet. Someone found an old pages pre-printed album with pre-printed pages with a lot of old stamps. As you can see, a lot of them are also quite damaged, and well, the owner is the opinion that it's very valuable. However, you all probably know that the value of these stamps is maybe, I don't know, a few dozen of dollars if someone wants it. It's everything basic stuff. $500,000 asking price. Well, good luck. New Zealand. Well, I'm not really familiar with modern New Zealand stamps. This one looks quite interesting. There is also a American Philatelic Society Expert Committee report that it's genuine in all respects. Fair enough. I believe it is genuine. Unfortunately, I don't know the catalog value of this stamp, but well, to be honest, I doubt that the value is so high. Another amazing stamp, very cheap one from 1976. It was issued in 1976. Well, maybe the seller, let's have a look whether there is a description. Well, just an American stamp. So Laina 64. He or she or it maybe thinks that it's from the year 1776. We all know that at that time no stamps existed, but some people who have no idea about philately, they think that this stamp might be from 1776, nicely printed, as you can see. By offset, probably. I'm not sure about the printing quality or printing style of this stamp, but 300,000 euro dollars asking price. Nonsense. It has value in this quality. It's a bit damaged, as I can see. Well, $1-2 maybe. This is also nonsense. This Chinese stamp for 250,000, but whatever. Brazilian stamp again. Well, yeah, as you can see here, the seller says color is missing in the star here, which is according to him a misprinting of color inside star. And this is how it should look like. Yes, that's true. It is how it should look like. But the quality of these stamps was actually pretty poor when they were printed. And the most of them have some kind of printing errors like this one. So the real value of this stamp is maybe a few cents. Surely not one American dollar. Here is the asking price over 200,000. Good luck again. I'm not sure about this one. It's probably authentic. Yeah, here is again American Philatelic Society report. The stamp is genuine. I believe it is genuine. I have never seen it, but it doesn't mean anything. Well, no idea about the catalog value because it's not stated in my basic catalog which I have for Chinese stamps. But $185,000 would make it one of the most expensive and valuable Chinese stamps ever sold. This is also a quite funny cover. Ordinary first day cover, asking price 150,000 American dollars. Well, okay. This stamp is fine. It's pretty old American stamp. From I think it is 1869 issue, if I'm right. These stamps were made on a paper with grill, and there are some stamps known without grill. and there is no. They are mentioned in the catalog, but there is no price stated in the catalog. These stamps without grill. The problem is I can't see any grill there, so it's probably fine. However, I would still ask the seller to give me a certificate of authenticity for this stamp. And the value 200,000 Canadian dollars. Oh, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it's a good, because in my Scott catalog there is this stamp without grill with original gum, priced at 10,000 American dollars, which is fine. The stamps of this kind usually don't sell for catalog value. They usually sell for less. Here we have 20 times more asking price. There is a tooth missing here in the left corner. This one is also, well, almost off. Well, okay. This is a great stamp, isn't it? Bulgaria, 1988, absolutely common stamp. This one is totally damaged. You can throw it away. Condition, a fine used stamp, as stated by the seller. He has probably no idea about philately. That's why he's asking 200,000 Canadian dollars for this. Okay, what else do we have here? This is also interesting item. Again, the value of this stamp is not over 100,000. What I find quite interesting is here this line. If you have a good look, there is a here it is quite clear visible. There is a white line going down, and here, can you see it? There is also the line. It seems that there were two stamps somehow put together, glued together. You can see it perfectly here. The line going to the very bottom. I can't see it here anymore. So it's quite strange. The paper here looks a bit, I'm not sure whether damaged, but someone played with it a bit. So I think it's some kind of forgery or something. I would be very, very, very careful with this stamp. This is an interesting item, Turkey stamp for laborer's passport. It's a text stamp from 1921. These stamps were issued in 1921 and were placed in the laborer's passport as a tax stamp. It's a very interesting item of Turkish philately and the single most valuable stamp of both Turkey and the Liberation War, I would say. It was used, as I already said, in the passports of expatriate workers who came to work on the Hejaz Railroad, which was a narrow gauge railroad which ran from Damascus to Medina through the Hejaz region in Saudi Arabia. And only 182 stamps were overprinted. There is an overprint, as you can see. It's quite badly seen, but here you can see a light violet overprint on the stamp. So 182 were printed or overprinted. However, the majority of them burned during the fire in the Bozuyuk, it was the name something like this, Bozuyuk post office. And there are less than 20 examples known to exist nowadays, just less than 20 examples, which is really not many. All of them were cancelled at this Bozuyuk post office or in Inonu. And there is no used example recorded, so this one is used, which is fine as long as it's genuine cancel. And well, unfortunately, it's quite damaged. If the stamp was not damaged like this, it could have a value, fair enough, somewhere between 5 and 10,000 American dollars. So this asking price is, well, for this quality, in my opinion, quite unrealistic. If it would be in a good quality, well, why not? On a piece, why not? These are some kind of diplomas which don't tell anything about this stamp. I don't know why did the seller put these diplomas there, because there is it's not a certificate of authenticity or whatever connected to this stamp. New Haven, Connecticut, Postmaster's Provisional reprint of 1932. Very rare, $100,000. Well, if the seller thinks so, okay, let him wish good luck. Here we have a forgery of the famous Austrian Red Mercury, which was the first newspaper stamp in the world, the issue from 1856. It's very rare, but this is a total, quite simple forgery of this stamp, and offered from Turkey. Yep, and the value 4,500 American dollars. Well, if someone wants to pay it for a forgery, do it. This is also a funny offer. Germany, absolutely totally common stamp. Seems to be quite damaged here below. Well, it looks anyway quite strange, this stamp. Well, never mind. But the seller thinks that the error of size, no exact shape. Well, yes, these stamps were not made really properly, and the value of this stamp is just a few cents. Surely not 100,000. Qatar stamps block, very rare. Well, okay, if you think so. Here you got another, it's quite popular set of these stamps. There are many and many of them. This is a nice plate flaw or printing error or whatever. I've never seen it before, but to be honest, maybe $100 might be a fair value, maybe 200, I don't know. Surely not 99,000. If you want to pay 1,000 for it because you like it, just do it. It's not a problem. But 99,000, well, I wouldn't do that. This is a nice stamp as long as it's genuine. There is no certificate or anything. The catalog value of this stamp is, if I'm right, somewhere around 10,000. No, sorry, around 55,000 British pounds, which is actually the price which the seller is asking. Well, okay, if somebody wants to pay catalog value, you can do it. The most important part, in this case, I would say, give me a certificate, because if someone is selling stamp for 55,000 quid, he should offer a certificate of authenticity. Well, what else do we have here? Ancient handwritten 1846 letter and 2 rare 1-penny stamps, unknown person. Well, Penny Black is the first stamp of the world, very popular among all the collectors around the world. In a pair, it's quite nice to have it on a letter. Unfortunately, these two are quite damaged. They are valuable, sure. You could get for them a few hundred American dollars. The value would be there, but 69,000, well, far too much. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I hope that you liked this video. If so, please subscribe so that you don't miss any other videos which I'm preparing for the future. Take care and bye-bye.